What used to take hours of Googling and stalking people on LinkedIn, finding out who they are and who their competitors are, this N8N workflow does it in about 30 seconds, all built just by dragging and dropping nodes into this UI. Each lead costs less than 5 cents to research, and just wait until the end of the video because the report that AI makes on people is just insane. So with that said, let's jump into the video. Hi, this is Ben with God of Prompt. So here's the deal, if you're in sales or consulting or you just need to research companies fast, this workflow is going to save you so much time. Because we're building a full due diligence agent that takes a company's website and a person's LinkedIn profile, and we use some scraping tools to enrich the data that we gave. So where we started with just a couple of links, we end up with this insane in-depth report. It shows competitors, a SWOT analysis, the whole shebang. And if you find this type of content valuable, be sure to like and subscribe because we put out AI automation content just like this every single week. And if you want to skip ahead and just copy and paste this workflow and get it up and running as quickly as possible, be sure to check out our complete AI bundle, which contains the completed template for this workflow. So we're going to use N8N to build this workflow, but what exactly is N8N? Well, it's basically a low-code drag and drop integration platform. So it lets you connect any of the tools that you see on the screen that wouldn't normally be able to talk to each other. So if you don't have an N8N account, go to n8n.io and click Get Started. Go ahead and follow the steps to make an account. It'll let you start a 14-day free trial here. I personally pay for the starter plan, the $24 a month. Hosted by N8N plan. This is the easiest way to get started. So once you're here, you'll sign into your N8N cloud instance. You may also be brought to this dashboard, in which case you have to click Open Instance. Once you're in N8N, go ahead and click Create Workflow. Go ahead and name it something and save frequently. So the first thing we're going to do is add the trigger for our flow. How is this flow going to be kicked off? So we'll hit the plus sign here. The first thing we want to do is determine how our flow is going to be kicked off. So we're going to start it with a form submission. So hit that plus sign, search for form, and then click the N8N form. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this out and then share it with you so you can copy and paste. So let's make the form titled Due Diligence Form, the description to fill in the required data. Click this Add Form Element button to make the different fields in the form. This first one is going to be our email. Put the placeholder email in there. We'll add another form element for our company name, like so. Add another for company domain or website here, and we're going to make this a required field. Another for the name, and last but not least, a field for the LinkedIn username. So if we execute this step, we should see our form here, and that does indeed look similar to what we showed in the beginning, so it looks good to go. Just stop listening here. So every node that you double click on in N8N will have these three panels. The left side is the input data that comes into the step. The middle is the configuration for that step itself. And the right side is the output of that step. So each one of these nodes will have those three panels inside of it. Okay, now that we've got the LinkedIn username in the output, we're going to add a node here to scrape LinkedIn using a service called Apify. So let's start by adding an HTTP request node here. This is going to let us talk to the Apify service. Method is going to be a post. Then scroll down, tick send body, and we're going to send the parameters using JSON. And you'll want to basically copy this code here. Feel free to take a screenshot, throw it in ChatGPT, and tell it to transcribe. Okay, the one thing we're missing here is the URL. Apify is basically a store that has a bunch of little apps for you to run. Each of these is, bits of code that you can use at cost. So creators publish their code to the store, we can use it. So go ahead to apify.com and go to console. You may see to create an account. And you can actually start with a free account here. So once you're in Apify, find the Apify store. Then you're going to search for actors, and you're going to type in this exact string here, API maestro /LinkedIn-profile-detail, and you should see this one Apify actor available. So go ahead and click that. Then all we need to do is click this drop down arrow by API, hit API endpoints, and then we're looking for one in particular. And that would be this bad boy right here, run actor synchronously and get dataset items. So we basically want this little part in the URL, run sync get dataset items. And if we hit copy here, where this token has blurred out what our password or token is for Apify, if we go back and paste that into N8N, we'll see our API key here in the URL. So that's how Apify knows that the requests coming from N8N are from us, and it's gonna charge us for the usage. There's also a Apify usage tab, so be sure to track your usage so you don't hit your cap, but also so you don't run your bill up super high. So once you've pasted that URL in this step, you should be able to click execute step, and bam, we have a bunch of output. It has scraped my LinkedIn profile and returned that data. Now we can work with that. Let's add a little data mapping step here, just to make the data a little easier to look through, because there's a lot of data. So name this first one name. It's going to be a string, and pull in full name from the left side. Add another. This one's going to be designation, and we want to find the LinkedIn title here, so we can search on the top, find title, and we're going to pull in that title right there. That would be the person's most recent title in LinkedIn at the 0 position. So once that's done, and I forgot to pin this, we always want to pin every time we're doing HTTP requests, because again, it's all cost money. So especially when we're testing this, we don't want to do that. So let's test the new field we just made. Bam, we've got the name and designation in that output field. It's going to make it a lot easier for us to find in the next step. So now we're going to use another HTTP request for a service called Apollo. Now Apollo is similar to Apify in the sense that you can call an API and get a bunch of data back. So this time we're going to research the company. So once we're inside our new HTTP request node, go ahead and paste this value into the URL. We're going to tick on send query parameters, and on the left from our on form submission node, we'll hit the drop down, and then we can drag in the company domain into the value there. So whatever the person submitted from the form, that gets sent to Apollo. Moving on down here, we need to tick send headers. The name is going to be X API key, and the value is again going to be our API key, or the sensitive kind of password that N8N is using to access this service on our behalf. So similar deal, go to Apollo, sign up for a free account. So you only need the free account to start using this, but the costs again rack up pretty quickly here. So once you're in apollo.io, then you'll want to go to the Apollo developer portal. So go to developer.apollo.io/keys. That's where we're going to make our API key to put into N8N. So once you're here, hit create new key, name it something, hit create, copy that, and back in our N8N flow, paste that key in the value section in our header. And if we hit execute step and we did everything right, we should get some data in our output here, pulling, some of that information from gotaprompt.ai. Be sure to pin that node, because again, every call to these HTTP requests costs money. Now this output is pretty messy and probably hard for AI to read. So let's add a code node after this, code in JavaScript. And I'm going to give you guys a script that will kind of combine all of the data here. So I'm going to show it here, and feel free to screenshot it. It's the second section, and that will be the third. So again, feel free to pause the video, screenshot it, throw it in ChatGPT. But basically, we're just combining all the data into one string. So in the output here, bam, there we go. We have one variable combined text, which includes all of our information that we need to send to AI to create our report. Pin that. Okay, so now we're gonna do the competitor analysis part. So what we gotta do, now we're gonna do the part where we research the competitors. So hit the plus sign and search for OpenAI. Click that, and we're gonna choose the message a model action. Zoom in here. So if you haven't linked your OpenAI account before, you'll see some red here, and you're just going to go ahead and create a new credential. And again, we're being asked for an API key because AI tokens aren't free, and OpenAI is like, hey man, you got to give us your, your account if you want us to, if we want to use our paid service here. So to get our API key, go to platform.openai.com/API-keys, and you may need to make an account instead of billing for this, but the costs are going to be very low. So again, sub pennies per lead for the AI here. So create a new secret key, name it something. I'm naming mine delete later because I'm about to expose it here. Hit copy, and back in the n8n flow, paste the API key, hit save, and when we have the green, we know that we're good to go. If you have multiple accounts like me, remember what this is named, the credential, because we're going to choose the same one in the next step. So we're going to message a model, we're going to choose the model. As of now, GPT 5.2 is the best. We're not going to go with the pro, thinking models. We're just going to go with basic 5.2. And we do want to add a user prompt here. So the prompt is going to be as follows. I will share this and you guys can copy this as well, take a screenshot. So basically says you're a business intelligence analyst. We're using the combined text from that last node, that code node, and we're returning, the competitors basically. Hit execute step, and we have the text of the list of our competitors. Go ahead and pin that, because AI costs money. Okay, now we want to generate the entire report. So for that, we're going to use an agent. And the reason we do that will become clear shortly. So the prompt, we're going to define it ourselves. Here is the prompt to create our report. There you go. And you can obviously customize this, do your own. We're going to tick require specific output format. It's letting us know you need to connect an output parser, which we're going to do. That's the reason we need the AI agent. And under options, we're going to add option, add a system message. This is going to be right here, this system prompt. My favorite line, never hallucinate. Have you guys ever tried telling AI, just don't hallucinate? It's so obvious. Okay, so now let's go out from here. And it said we need to add a output parser. So let's click the plus sign by that. And we're going to hit the structured output parser. We're going to define our own JSON schema, and you can go ahead and copy this here. So apologies for the length again. Copy that, and that. And if this is too much, you can try executing it without the output parser first, giving the output to AI and telling AI to generate this JSON schema for you, for your however you want the report to look in the end. Anyway, back in the flow. Chat model. We need to add a brain for this thing because right now it has no chat model. It's just some prompts and an output parser. So hit the plus sign there by the chat model and hit OpenAI chat model. And since we've already connected our account 20, for us it is here, go ahead and select that same one and use the same, latest model here. So we're going to use GPT 5.2. And this usually takes the longest, maybe 10 or 20 seconds or so, but once everything's set up, hit the execute button and double click in. We should get the output, which is basically our entire report, right? Go ahead and pin that. Now we want to append that data to our Google Sheet. So first we need to make that Google Sheet. So come into Google Drive, hit new. Remember what account you're in specifically. Hit Google Sheets. Name it something that you'll remember. And you just need these columns. So just go ahead and copy these. Then we're going to add a Google Sheet node. So search for Google Sheets here. And we're going to append a row in the sheet. Okay, so we'll need to connect our account first, right? So hit create a new credential. Go ahead and sign in with Google with whatever account you've created that sheet in. Then once you've created that, remember what you named it, right? Because we're going to select it again. Come down to the document and search for the document you just created. I named mine Big Brain Due Diligence Agent, so select that. From the sheet, there's only one sheet, sheet 1, so select that. And you can see it pulled in our columns like that. And now we just want to drag in fields from the left into the right here. So company name, it's down here, right? We can either scroll down and find it, or we can simply type in the search, company name. Let's see if it would have popped up if it was no underscore. It would not. So we want it from this step, the AI agent step. So indeed, we want to have the underscore. So you can't really just search for it. You might have to find these. Yeah, so down here under company snapshot, right? Industry, business model, contact name. Name we can grab from this guy. The role, we're going to pull that in from the same previous step. And the rest of these fields are going to be from our AI agent, scrolling down to this company snapshot, going to website link. There is the website. Revenue range, unfortunately not available this one time that we ran it. Competitors list, bam, bring that in. Niche served, pull that in. And intelligence report, leave blank. Run that bad boy, see if it works. Looks like it worked. Good to go. Pin that. Okay, now we're going to create the actual due diligence report itself in Google Drive, and then we're going to populate that blank field here with the URL. So hit the plus sign, we're going to go to Drive, and we're going to find create file. As weird as it sounds, Google Drive is a separate credential, so you'll have to come in here, you click create new credential, and N8N is asking us for a client ID and client secret, so we got to grab those from Google. To do that, go to console.cloud.google.com, create an account if you haven't before, link your billing information if it asks you to, right? These API calls don't cost any money, but it might ask you to do it just because it's Google Cloud. So once you're in here, go ahead and create a new project. So either create a new project here, it'll probably prompt you to do it. But you could also search it, create a project, name it something, and create it. Once you're in your dashboard here, you'll want to find APIs and services. So go ahead and click that. You can see I've been using my Google Drive API service recently, but you'll need to enable yours. So go to the library tab here, search for Google Drive API, click it, click enable. So mine says manage, but you'll need to click enable. Go back to our APIs and services settings menu, hit OAuth consent screen. Go down to clients, then create a client. Application can be web application. Sorry, let me zoom in here. Name it something. For authorized redirect URIs, hit add URI, go to your N8N flow, and add the URL that it is telling you to. Hit create. This will give you your client ID and client secret that are, again, your sensitive username and password. I'm going to delete mine. Paste your ID in there. Paste your secret in there. Then you'll see a little sign in button here, sign in with Google. Click that, sign in with the same account, and then you'll get this big green box that shows you you're connected. If we test that out, boom, we got an ID showing us that a document was created. So it just created this untitled document for right now. Okay, so I'm gonna name my AI agent actually report generation. And you should do this too if you want to copy this. Because if we go into our create file, our file content is gonna use the word report creation a lot. So we have to reference this step by name. So there is the company report JavaScript. Sorry, it's not JavaScript. So here's the company report using all the dynamic, values from previous in our flow. Make the file name something like this, where it takes the company name dash diligence report. You can see the preview down here, looks good. Now where it's gonna save this file, where it's gonna create it in my drive, I have a folder called due diligence agent. Now if I execute that step, it should create a new file in due diligence agent. Bam, right here at the top. Got a prompt, AI, prompts, tips, tricks. Here is the completed report. It's in this kind of ugly format because frankly this gets you 90% of the way there, and adding the really nice document formatting on top is sort of a pain. So here you go, there's the finished deliverable. But if you look at our big brain due diligence agent tracker here, we're still missing the intelligence report. This is just text flowing in from the niche served. So we do not have the link to it here yet. The way we do that is back in N8N, pin that guy, is we add a sheet node. And we want to type simply get rows. Be sure to choose the right document and the right sheet. I have multiple sheets accounts here, right? So I'll want to select the one I selected previously. So I'll use that one. I'll use that one here. If we execute, we should get the ID and all the rows. There you go. Lastly, we're going to add another Google Sheets node, and this is going to be an update row in sheet. Again, pick the right credential, update row, document, make sure it's the right one. Sheet, it's the first sheet. Map each column manually. The column to match on is going to be at the bottom here, row number. And we can get rid of all of these, except we want to keep the very last one, intelligence report. So in the row number section, all we got to do is drag in the row number from the previous step. And then for the intelligence report, we have this URL here that we're going to fill in the placeholder with the ID from the step that we made the file. So click the drop down next to create file from text, drag that ID in to this placeholder, get rid of that placeholder, hit execute step. Then you should get a link in your Google Sheet that when you click on it, you can view the report. And that is essentially the entire flow, so we always make sure to save it. Let's unpin everything except for the form submission and try it again from beginning to end, because sometimes it does expose some other issues. Okay, looks like it's just about to finish up here, and we should see when this thing is done, yep, another row added into our tracker with a new due diligence report. So that's how to build a complete due diligence research agent from scratch. Hopefully it saves you guys dozens and dozens of hours. Now the ball is in your corner, so don't make any more excuses and go ahead and build this thing. Hopefully you found this video valuable. If you did, be sure to subscribe, and more importantly, check out the links in the description. We have a lot of free digital products as well as our complete AI bundle, which contains this template, so you can set it up, quicker than ever. You don't have to do the step-by-step setup that we just went through. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.